Introduction. Enthralling whirling world alike ours, yet Zaggle Zooogle even more whizzo bang wacky wondrous organic formed metallic, in valley, mountain, field and whatever built upon them especially sprawling city. Cyber-crushing financial crisis reco risking to almost revisit Great Depression. Storylining New Yorkie and worldwide yonder made metal, Humo Mechanica robotized inhabited with sockets aka fembots and screwdrivers aka malbots. Taxpayer rawing whether Politica, Treasury and Central banks should bail out bungling bankery, Vir Guvo enacting Kino fiscal/monetary ado or ado nothing Vir arch-econ rival Hayek. As ever in Diametrica, arguing bailouts are unneeded to avert economic depression, being mere Kino scaremongering govos into naively agreeing his comeback against Milto tenure, now accused of modeling awry the housey banking boom found bubble bursting bust. Headlong heated thrown all in crisis cauldron, mega melding unfurling worsening events, into market Kino against free market Milto and Hayek econs battling each other, Guvo and Politicas. Wrangling what best do about it, with blameworthy banks reported by braying media inflaming American Zion public outrage, alike banking crisis worldwide also bedeviling other publica, Politica and Govos hapless imperiled. All in sci-fi story venture dare explore economics, extrapolating housey banking subprime crisis in '08, robotized translated, parodied projected into Humo mechanized world afar. Super-selling economics vibrant back into ours shown too vital to be decided by politicas, media and econs alone, thus hereon inviting tax-paying readers judge between them over past, present and how best to everyday econo livelihoods progress, prosper and future flourish. And if enough enjoy the script, featuring banks, media, politicas and economists aka econs starring Keynes, Hayek and Milton econo giants revived alive here then maybe made film, if what insofar story writ wins enough readership cum interest for more, including more parts awaiting film. And moreover ZZZ's animatic series and other online info may foster further curiosity in this proposed econo sci-fi project, undoubtedly first or then again could very well be fitfully last of its somewhat peculiar and speculative type. Note on screenplay. Hopefully writ more palatable unfurling flowing readable, not cluttered up in needless camera directions, scene transitions or many other script format idiosyncrasies, which may put off readers from trying this screenplay out being already about economics as it is. Name-speaking part cast from econ, banking, Guvo, Politica etc. are first capitalized then on shortened, whilst contemporary myriad media with few exceptions are pulled from a list, awaiting eventually assigned to play anchor, reporter or interviewer merely numbered not named sufficing for now. Over how parts of the script may roughly turn out if filmed, can be seen in mock-up animatic series, enabling readers view plausible impressionistic vivid enough sort of projection. And albeit partial maybe supersedes what hereon scripted reduced to mere static literary guidance, against perhaps more likable dynamic voiced visualization, near enough filmable approximation. Despite dwindling time/resources relying laptop alone, through graphic wizardry have produced accompanying pictures, often inexact in visualized scenes nor intentionally attempts facial likeness of any particular character. And aside Humo models, Ostros must make do with sort of radish groundhogs standing in for meerkats, whilst Chicagoza must suffice with teddy bear stand in for Jeremy the koala bear. Moreover, various Humo models double up for other characters, and against the story far fewer characters are pictured, limited through techno-practicalities, hassle and deadline time constraints. But these pictures should still abet vivid what writ more intriguing, captured in carefree glossy near kitsch impress almost inhabiting style of its very own, visualizing script more appetizing than without them. More resources have been put into visualizing int where story mostly unfolds unlike ext, also too time sapping to capture when going wider outside in New Yorkie, Londonza etc. Usually can only suggest a sense of the wider world albeit limited hopefully still interesting. For after all this script befits picture to later on filmed if made possible, hence the author instigating from here on, trying reverse engineer cultivating bottom-up readership following, by publishing script to film route then top-down rely on producer cum movie studio, preside to decide if aught filmed. Above conventional scripts the text paragraph/descriptions are in part writ guiding perhaps nursing readers through the story, often cursory clarifying what motivates characters think, feel and act, invariably involving competing econo theory/fracas in this instance. In standard functional scriptwriting text terms it may be overwrit, but worthwhile perchance elicit general readership interest, risking jumped-up literary pretension for sci-fi script norms today, yet hopefully still writ flowing framed, clean, slick and smooth, loosely adhering screenplay form abetted in pictures. Picturing nor coffee table book, comic strip, graphic novel, novelty thingy into itself but simply an illustrated screenplay, envisaging what some of it may sort of look like if ever filmed, super surely the goal of any script else why laborious, labor and bother thankless write them. And if what writ and painstaking pictured fails to excite readers, perhaps finer enjoy page flicking through the screenplay, accompanied by listening to the audio screenplay. Audio screenplay. Unlike books if read alone suffice itself, whilst scripts are more so transitional documents only fully achieving itself if filmed, or at least can be heard in audio screenplay available in two multi-voiced versions, without sound effects and with sound effects. Although can be heard alone, both versions are designed to complement the illustrated screenplay, inviting readers to follow/page flick through listen to it than have to read every line, thus perchance made more palatable to the everyday reader in being about economics as it is. The version with some sound effects is arguably better, but some readers may prefer without, and yet both have merit albeit in a different way, hereon trying offer greater variety to satisfy most tastes. All in you are being given, enjoying wider more empowering choice to choose from left up to you the consumer, that no doubt any old proverbial economist today would aptly agree with. Both versions are multi-voiced the same, except the screenplay text qua narrator is notably female-voiced in the non-sound effect version, whilst male-voiced in the sound effect version, which also takes the liberty of bringing to life many of the unscripted media montages in the screenplay. Aside famous politicas Brown and Obama, most other politicas, econs and bankers are not impersonated in not having the time, resources or opportunity to fully hire/direct an audio/actor company to mount a full-on radio-type stage play during COVID lockdown. During such the author has managed to put together two screenplay audio versions, hopefully of some interest that will make do moreover later on, may be able to produce a full-on more dynamic audio play for the abridged version if there be demand for it. For unlike books better sufficing themselves, scripts are only truly validated after its lines are spoken acted/performed live and its text made moving pictured vivid expanse. Enthralling fulfilling ambitioning mega massive extraordinary, wizzo wondrous lustrous Zaggle Zooogle multi-part cyberbot movie perhaps, or then again perhaps not. As this unfilmed screenplay may never be screened, yet at least can be played out, listened to, inviting the mind, imagining how look like, or helped out through following picture-rife script, allowing the audio design to work together for selling the whole, perchance improved one day attaining big picture telos. Being about economics as 'tis thus must strive, beyond umpteenth proverbial penguin paperback econo '08 Great Recession cottage industry, for least chance aspiring elicit wider popular readership, if this is ever to be launched off the ground into film. Obliging author felt maybe better realized, veer sci-fi illustrated scripted vehicle allying audio version and mock-up animatic series, trying overcome resistance to economics to be made foremost entertainment. Rather than assume billeted in non-fiction econo textbook/current affairs, being valid yet hereon now posit may be interesting enough filmed, weighing through Keynes v. Hayek notorious spat enduring still defining much of economics how 'tis today, nor of course forget Milton's input into the econo ether. Or in other words, through this prism, exploring economics just as long as they be robots in cyberbot world afar far away, but remains close enough familiar to resonate our own preoccupations, partaking in the economy affecting us all. Unlike books made audio, it remains unusual to find screenplay audios as offered here. Yet the screenplay structure can lend itself quite well to an audio format, with the text serving as narrator whilst the lines are somehow characterfully expressed, and perhaps enhanced with some sparing sound effects added in, but some may still prefer without, hence hereby offering a choice between them. Seven. Interior, New Yorkie. News Studio. 20th of March 08. Day.
Fox News. Rolling news from America and beyond. For everybody every day.
Embattled but enduring Hanky Cross examined a round table, uncomfortably to unconvincingly defends actions against tenacious interrogator, eventually forcing him resignedly using bailout word, than any more mealy-mouthed pussyfooting around it.
So, despite the bushy whirly admino, umpteenth insistico insisting afar before now, that Zippo zero, no taxpayer dollars should be spent, for bailing out banker bungling, Wally Wismo finance industry, yet right now, impelling Guvo, welfaring, Wally Walletary. For surely, is that naughty not what you've done, bailing out bankrolling JP Morganza 30 billion, for taking over Sternico, for $10 shares.
Well, Fundafloxing, a new company, enabling Morganza, taking over Sternico.
Yes, but collateralized via Sternico's dodgy assets, that if found insufficient to repay the loan, the everyday taxpayer, cum fed cum you whatever, couldn't go after Morganza. Ya no, non-recourse. Is it Nat?
Well, depending. How you see it.
Well, what else is it, but non-recourse? 30-odd billion via New Yorkie Fed. Timo Gartner, Ultimo Bernanke okayed it. Did he Nat?
Well, in actual fact, it was 29.
Okay, Cali call it 29 for bailing out Sternico. For Morganza takeover. Super duper shotgun marriage.
Yes. Putty put that way. If you must.
So, whatever. A loan, a bailout, a guarantee, taxpayers' cash, is Uber Ultimo behind it. Merely Cali calling it what it is, a bailout, even though you dislike the word.
Well, okay, a bailout if you must. But, in terms of accuracy.
Increasingly impatient interviewer interrupts him into clarifying his interests but fails to mollify interviewer from colorfully criticizing his ex-Wally brethren then him and central bankers.
For why not? As many do say, even those within your former industry, Investico banking brethren.
Whoa, needy reminding you. I selly flogged sold my shares. In gold-bought heavy sacks, before I took this job. Remember?
Yes, well, for Wally Wismos, keep on telly-welling, lecture luxing, lubricating, everyday boatery, everyday ball bearings, ever faster forevermore, freer freewheeling free market capitalism, enrolling extra whizzing all around, louder lubing, enterprise engines, revving dog eat dog do or die, Darwino ethos, specially, Investico Wally Wallet Bankery, Wally Walletary Super Screwdrivers, Competico faming, for who's got the biggest screwdriver. And yet, after super shrinking to crashoflopping, feather bedded backup via Guvo gizmos. Timo Gartner, Benny Bernanke and Yaself, the so-called, newfangled bailout boatery, the bailsters.
Ever more irritably Hanky disowns bailsters phrase as silly media slur, which interviewer corrects to attributing Hayekian criticism, embarrassing fellow Hanky free market believer uncomfortable. Nonetheless, on this occasion felt he had no choice, thus cautiously defends bailouts, then praises Miso Hayekian Austro free market economic tradition, in the vain hope of assuaging their wrath.
No, that's a phrase. A colorful description, nor see myself, nor my colleagues, belonging to
But
media maugery, blather bloggers, hurly-wordy scribblers headline writers, headlining me, for silly willy, selly flogging newsprint, televating soundbites.
No, as in actuality, as coined, by none other than Professor von Hayek, hurly-wording articles attacking you, even above, the usual suspects, Bernanke Bob, Gartner, Keynesy Clog et al.
Listen, uber ultra, always having, including Presido Bushy Whirly, having, holding, ultimo respect, for Ludwigi von Miso, Misabotery, Rothbardo, von Hayek, Hayekians, hurly-wording, sky-high, super championing, free market, Austro-Austriansian, economica tradition, von Hayek, uber ultimo, mega market luxor, for perhaps, aside the Fed, in freely admitting mega monetary disagreements. But at least, I'm halfway Hayekian, alike bushy whirly. And deep down, he be beloved by Wally Wismos, and markets worldy-wide towards him, from helpy welpy, big o-banging, Londonza, and umpteenth mega more besides. Before and after, his hurly-whirly, pro-market advocacy, inestimable, economica contribution through the years, market luxing, go-getting uber urging, globalizing upward, uber-duber, Wizzo bang coining, telecommunicated marketplace today, deregulo super championing, freeing us up, for free marketed, enthralling economics, in less guvo.
Aha, and yet, Austro yabbering, according to him, without paraphrasing, you've damn blastical, gone and gotten, gone and done, the uber diabolica opposite.
Noticing screen behind them, vivid shows busy New Yorkie street cornered Friedrich Electro von Hayek 108 courting followers, protesters and chiefly prying media. Reporting him venting soon familiar raspy Austro accent, notably in testing times such as now, revving turbo-charged Teutonic against his ever-enduring arch-econo adversary Kino. Eloquent, enthusing, impassioning, compelling despite elderly, his mega-pro market, largely laissez-faire, libertarian, free-market Austro-econo outrage at bailing out Bankery vir Guvo/Centro Bankery, being even more blameworthy for doing so. Offending him embattled, energetic, irascible and erudite, often ironic, scathingly witty to his detractors, blaming him and cohorts of loving free markets too much into ideological intransigence, against any moderate market managed by Guvo cum Kino being now even more enlarged. Irritating him to attacking Hanky among others, accused of appeasing his arch-nemesis then allow free-marketed outcomes, becoming ever more threatened right now with managed market Kino solutions, which nigh on century he has been tireless fighting, albeit mostly losing against. And in leading Misabotery amid other followers, remain mostly minority but still strong enough, advocating Austro-econo alts than any more mainstream Kino or Chicagoza economics, being status quo tried out to now Austro felt govos should try them out. free marketing capitalism than having Kino exploiting unrest to enlarging Guvo further against everyday freedoms according to Ostros. Being already eroded enough offending Hayek often skyward to megaphoning outrage, from his clunky old but forbiddingly fearsome Stuka dive bomber plane. Albeit minority against Kino or Chicago's a majority Hayek endures, helming Austro-Econo followers comprising Miso Institute members, laissez-faire free banking believers and many other Austro-tending libertarian hangers-on. All in following to advocating oldest free market school of economic thought surviving since late 19th century, founded in Austro-Hungardroid Empire hence its name, but now has econo proponents worldwide. Such as Americansian-born Ostros mostly backing double Austro-Hayek, being born Austro as well as helping pioneer its tradition, notably along with his late mentor Ludwig von Miso. N.B. Followers of Hayek are drawn from as yet finalized list, often used to fill Austro-centric scenes without being cited, whilst those who are cited in a scene almost always enjoy speaking part. This is applied in order not to completely clog up this screenplay in excessive names, ensuing hopefully made more readable. Engrossing media hubbubs Hayek vents withering verb, arguing against Guvo evermore enacting Kino-managed market interventionist ethos, than dare allow banks befall free marketed outcomes alike any other business.
Giving in. To who an Kreis. Via newfound bailout buffoonery and rolls forth. An Vreco risking, spready weddy a pace. Even faster. Than subprime contagion. Diabolica deceasing, follow flocking. From milli boat for close ures. Bankrupting, builder Bob's brokers. Mortgage Sally Flokiers. An now. Evermore infecticos. Backwash bantangling. Wally wallet bankery interbockling worldty wide air. As I, hurly whirly. Wisbank predicted now reality. Inaugurating Wally Wismus, Slamo wobbly. Slamo starting. First off, Goin explodai blobs. Berstanico. After Pulipunker jumps in. Adjoining, the newfangled bailout Botry, Gartner, Bernanke Bob. Super succumbing. Appeasing majority media, market hissy fits, or glassware. For imbibing Kino interventions. Perpetuating his elixirs. Macroeconomica counter-cyclico. Mega mendacity. Justy floxing, the Guvo bailout gizmo. Mega mechanizing Pulipunker intervening, as if he didn't have a choice. For mega boat Uber orchestrating, 30 billion bailout, assuming, Stanico liabilities. Being too big to fail, despite having nothing to do with general payment system. That Pulipunker like Bernanke. Ignores, dem Blastica, bigo biling in the Guvo cum fet. Nigh on enroll in everyday ball bearings. Taxico taxpayers, for fundi floxing Stanico fire sale, for Morganza bigo betterment, publica bankrolled, via top-down politicas, Greco running over everyday botry, for Wally Wismo welfares, or indeed, Greco running over the very notion of free market capitalism, for super cybercrony, bailout backstops, floppy fat airing bungling bankery to more dependency. Atop already welfare as it is. By Bernanke Eccles. For the Fed. Via targeting, liquefying bankery kept afloat whilst starving generalized liquidity. Effectively, taking from the sound. Honest business botry needing credit. Given over, to the unsound. Greco reckless, specially voluntary rewarded ever onward. Behaving, as they do, ergo Lehman Bob. Still plowing on, mega messaged Uber signaled ever on. Over-leveraged as already is. Super sanctioned via Fed. From Senko legacy befalling Bernanke. As I Wissobang. Predicted.
Various clips show Hayek megaphoning on Stuka dive harrying, everyday New Yorkies blitzed by his sloganizing, which hanky pities but still defends bailouts despite GMO not making it any more publica politica palatable.
N. As per usual. Earlier on today, hurly-wordy flying around as he does. Accusafloxing you lot. Of enlarging ever bigo guvo.
Enlarging Guvo reduces amas in everyday freedoms, gone forsaken, until forgetting what we lost. To never knowing what we had, when soon enough, being planned up, by the few. Whilst afa better best ot many, ot plan themselves, knowing afa better, fen bigo Guvo, as ever, enlarging enrolling, ever more bulberings under them, especially herded during crisis, excuse floxing, for even more Guvo ado.
Lar listen, noddy heady. I agree, being hurly-worded. I'm well aware of publica disquiet, nor needing Hayek, jumping in his stuka, skydiving hurly-wording, book bombing, Ramo raging, reminding me what I already know. For what we did in having to do offends me. Alike everyday damn Yankee Doodle taxpayers. Revving, having every right, hurling wordy, being hoppity mad, at me and other Guvo gizmos, for bailing out banker floppery. But, feely felt, I had to. Or else worsen, already worsenings. You know, uber ultimo having done, what we've had to do. Governing gizmos. Bushy Whirly Bernanke. Gartner. Myself. Empowered, on publica politica behalf, in doing what we've done despite Canadroid. Sounding off, is disingenuous. Near enough. Blaming all else, except himself.
Hating defending what felt had ado, offending his free market bias which his present actions undermine alike his reputation, now slurred within media but still hunkering down willing undergo such brickbats, controversies and no doubt wearily suspecting more in the offing. For when Guvo Gizmo position, duty-bound felt having no choice agreeing Bernanke that Bushy Whirly Admino had to act, being horrido but would be even more so if Guvo left Sternico bankrupt, falling out Reco risking simply too much market instability already worsening. Buried already under mounting tumult hardly helped by Gmo, further excusing himself through indicting events outside befalling his bank, near enough as if victimized awaiting pitied rather than publica politica pilloried. '40. Interior. New Yorkie. Newsroom. 20th of September 08. Day.
Info News Daily Data coming to you.
Where anchor intros images of BOE meeting room. Witness UK Prime Minister Golligunk Gordo Brown 57, allying Frenchico Minister Christa Lagarde 52 agreeing Kino, who deftly urges Hanky adopt any means above abysmal Austro advising of letting Lehman Bob go bust if private solutions fail.
From yesterday to today, pressured Pullapunka worsening, piled atop him, to find a way, to fix a Lehman Bob, and rechetted beyond here, with worldy wider politica afar, endorsing Kino Adu, who today, amongst bankerfloppery, gather flocked Eurasian Guvo gizmos, crisis crushed together, chaired under Golligunk Gordo Brown, publica politica voicing, worrying boggling on being scarily banked up worldy wider, inside Lehman Bob, and if all else fails, fretillating for heavy hinting, what should be done.
Aside Americansian, every nation's bankery, involving Inderboggled and Lehman Bob, which if left go, financially infecticos, way beyond Yankee poo borders, exposifloxing, worldly wider, more contagion, ultimo having geopolitica, economic ramifications that no doubt Americanza Yankee Doodle Govo Gizmos above Yankee Yabbering, Zaggle Zoogling, as all of us are well aware of, mega making matters even worse, if not dealt with.
Indeed, no dit, I agree. As interboggled we all are. Hot wiring, mega markets worldy white financial system. Lehman Bob's vulnerability becomes everyone's and vice versa. But where it originated, is where it should be fixed. Fixico via any means, for saving Lehman Bob.
Yes, and as yet awaiting remedy, but Barclay clogs afoot, tick-tocking hours towards Monday, which albeit belated appears hopeful. Fixico back upward in private takeover. Just in time. And if not, then you Baltimo Fixico by any means. Meaning, if one now has to spelly well it out, by any means available. Including, sacrificing short-held acquaintances for economic security, for at least, attemptico winning, bailing in securing worldwide stability.
You mean, Pullapunker may have to upset Professor Hayek.
Well, you were surely, a far better abandon him than the man Bob. Alas, we're now, having to endure his do-nothing elevation, for newfangled responsibility, endangering worldwide, into economic abyss. Whether Hollywoody Hayek, Mizzo Bottery, Free Banker Watzitz, Austriansian, laces fair bystanding idiocy after a drive-by shooting, doing damn blastical, bugger all if all else fails. Excuse my Frenchico, needing a hole in the head right now, for Pullapunker enlisting von Hayek, the uber head-crashing irresponsibility, whilst right now, publica politica statesmanship, statescraft, is called for.
In response, Hayek, defensively shown beside Hanke, agreed hopeful, on addressing media hordes in New Yorkie Fed meeting room.
Listen, I'm not talking about his defenseless glassware, but attempting Spincosa remedy, enabling Barclay clockwise Lehman Bob, uber urgently, we're turbo tirelessly working towards making progress, aren't we, Hanke?
Yeah. We're nearly there. Ticky-talking. Enough time to do the deal. Without Taxico taxing the taxpayers. As having umpteenth insistico insisted, it mega must be done, without publica provision. As, all in all, at least our Guvo gizmos. Agree with me.
Mega pressured with worldwide looking on, Hanke allying Hayek resist Kino clamors by remaining hopeful, in attempting arranging free market private rescue Lehman Bob despite dwindling time available. With Hanke Hayek embattled together, free market opting than enlarging any more Kino ethos, yet both sides know the stakes are sky high for Americanza and wider world fallout over the fate of Lehman Bob.